Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is ReNDoG coming at you from my brand new flower farm in this Let's Play Minecraft Feed the Beast series. In the previous episode, we went on a tour of our Feed the Beast world to remind ourselves of what is required to complete the construction of the Renstar space platform. And in this episode, my friends, we are going to start working on the maintenance level of the Renstar space platform. And let me tell you something, it is going to be freaking sweet. Sit back and relax, my cyber diggity dogs. Let's feed the beast that is our mind. Can you smell what the dog is cooking? And by cooking, I mean growing. Welcome, guys, to my brand new flower garden, man. And for some reason, it's just so peaceful here. It smells so freaking good, man. We got roses, we got cayenne flowers, and we got dandelions growing up in here. And it is scenting Rentown with a glorious, meadowy, summery aroma. And making me feel so much better as I'm stuck in winter in London right now, and it's freaking freezing in my flat, man. Hanging out here makes me feel a little bit warmer, or it makes my heart feel a bit warmer anyway. But guys, I've been spending the last 2.5 hours setting up this flower farm over here. I've installed a crop matron to help with the growing process, and the reason that I have set this up is because we are going to start working on the maintenance level of the Renstar space platform, as well as starting on some new modules. We've got another 8 modules to build of this space platform, and in each of those modules we're going to be using specific colors. In the power module of the Renstar we used orange and blue, but like in the living quarters we might use something completely different. We might use red and yellow or something like that. But the reason that I got started on this whole thing is because I started working on the maintenance level shortly after the end of the last episode, and what I started working on was the corridor of the maintenance level. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it over there. Let's get a little bit closer. Yeah, there we go. So what I started working on, guys, was the corridor for the maintenance level. And you know, whenever I think about maintenance, like in a factory or in a spaceship or in a garage or anything like that, I think about yellow and black as the colors that represent maintenance. And what I decided to do was mess around with those inverted lamps that we use in the Renstar at the moment. That we use the white ones for the corridors, and we've used a few others in the battery room over there. And I thought what we could do was experiment using an inverted yellow lamp and an inverted black lamp, and that could make a pretty sweet corridor for our maintenance level. But that made me realize that I needed a butt ton of dandelion yellow, and that's exactly why I started this little flower farm over here. And the awesome thing about Feed the Beast is if you can breed flowers like this using crop sticks and seeds, then when you right click on the flowers you collect the colors, and you don't actually break the flowers themselves. So once you have your sort of flower farm set up, you can just sort of harvest it every 10 minutes or so when all of its flowers have grown. And as you can see, I can get quite a lot of dandelion yellow. I've got almost a couple of stacks over here, and this sweet flower over here makes cyan, which is really cool. I don't know where I'm going to use cyan yet, but it's certainly a color that I want to use. And I don't know if this is like a really rare flower, but I think it probably is. It's just a really awesome color. I love it. And of course we've also got a little bit of rose here, and of course once you have different colors you can also mix them to make other colors. So I think it's quite important that we start mass producing color. And what I was thinking was, because our recycling facility in the cyber labs basically makes all of our free food for us, what we could do is turn these like croppage fields of Rentown into flower fields. So this one over here is going to be making dandelion, cyan and rose. Maybe we could make another color over there like purple or something like that. And then maybe the other flower beds or the other sort of crop beds around Rentown can make like other different colored flowers also. So that'd be pretty sweet, man. But we'll take that like a module at a time. Like as we start working on a new module and sort of decide on what color that module is going to be, then we can sort of work out what flowers we need, and we can come here to the bio research facility and breed them if we need to. And that's basically what I've been doing for the last 2 hours and 40 minutes, man. And I managed to collect a couple of stacks of cyan, which is really, of dandelion yellow, which is exactly what we need for today's episode. And I just need to head into the workshop, guys, because one of you cyber diggity dogs gave me a hint that is going to change my freaking life in Feed the Beast. And one of you guys told me about something called a text card. And to make a text card is really easy. It's just electronic circuits, paper, and a copper cable. And a text card is some sweet jazz, man. And I'm going to tell you guys about it once we head up into the Renstar. But it is definitely going to change our freaking life here, man. And I think the sun has just gone down as there is an Enderman over there. So let's head to our Rentown bedroom, have a nap, and then we can start construction of the maintenance level in the Renstar. Man, I'm so excited. I feel like the construction of this very first module of the Renstar is kind of coming to an end. I mean, we're almost there, right? I mean, the only outstanding task that we have is to complete the maintenance level of the Renstar, seal the Renstar up by making 3 more compression chamber entrances, and then we also need to finish off the roofs of the nuclear reactors and the battery room, and then we're pretty much done. And then we can, that is so awesome. Then we can start working on one of the other 8 modules of the Renstar too. I'm just going to come over here to the Metalworks factory to see if we have any surplus. Now this is all looking pretty good over here. I just set this up because we have a couple of MFEs down here that sort of stores a bunch of power for the Metalworks factory. So I just wanted to set up this industrial information panel over here to ensure that we have enough power for the Metalworks factory at all times. But it looks like everything is cool over here. But if my memory serves me correctly, I have been working on that flower farm down there for at least 2.5 hours, which would probably means our nuclear reactors are once again dry. And a ton of you guys in the comment section of the previous video pointed out to me that, like a butthole, I had stuck a dual uranium cell instead of a quad uranium cell into nuclear reactor beta. So thank you very much for pointing that out, guys. And yes, I did manage to go and fix it. I got that sucker powered up, but I'm pretty sure we are now completely out of power. Let's just get up into the reactor room and have a look. I think both of our nuclear reactors will be dry. Yep. 0 time remaining on both alpha and beta, so we can get some new fuel cells into these bad boys, get everything fired up once again, get rid of that near depleted uranium cell garbage, and get back down here and make our final 4 quad uranium cells. We'll just pick them up. There we go. That's going to get the cyber labs and the quarries fired up once again, and then we can focus on the serious business of actually doing some sweet ass crafting today, man. So let's get these quad uranium cells in. There we go. Let's just have a look on the info panels to make sure that our reactors are fired up. 320 EUs per tick, 2 hours and 46 minutes. 320 EUs per tick, 2 hours and 46 minutes. There we go. Perfect. And guys, this kind of shows you how much time I actually spend playing this game off camera. Like, I thought about recording the whole like flower farm thing, but I thought, man, nothing could be more boring in Feed the Beast than watching someone make a flower farm. It wasn't extremely complicated to make, and it just meant me sitting around waiting for flowers to crossbreed. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't very exciting, man. Let me tell you. Anyway, man, we're gonna get into some exciting jazz today, and the first thing that I want to do, guys, is make another aluminum module over here using our turtle. And I think. How much aluminum does this turtle actually have in its bottle? It's got 34 blocks of aluminum. That just ain't gonna cut the mustard, I'm afraid. So we're gonna have to head over to the Metalworks factory here and pick up as much aluminum as we can. Unfortunately, right, looks like we got about 3 stacks of aluminum. Unfortunately, our supply of aluminum is determined by the amount of aluminum that can get sucked up by the quarries. So that's why it takes quite a long time for us to actually make these giant platforms. The maintenance level is going to be mostly made out of aluminum. So every single time we make one of these like platforms over here, it takes up like all of our aluminum that we take 4 or 5 hours to mine. So it takes for freaking ever, man. But anyway, let's get right into this, guys. Let's get into CD Platform, which is our platform making program for our turtle. And our turtle is now going to build us a platform, which needs to be, I believe, 18 by 18. I think those are the dimensions. Let's have a look. Doesn't have enough blocks for that, unfortunately. All right, so we're going to have to do platform 18 by... We need another 100 blocks, right? So 18 by 15. Man, my maths is so bad. All right, platform 18 by 13. Platform 18 by 12. There he goes. All right, he'll make an 18 by 12 platform, which means we need a bunch more aluminum to be able to finish off this module. But while that turtle is doing his business, man, let me take you over to the part of the maintenance level that's got me really, really excited. So at the end of the last episode, guys, I started working on the corridor for the maintenance level. And as I was explaining a little bit earlier, I wanted to use the colors black and yellow, because to me that sort of shouts maintenance. And what I did at first was I made a few of these inverted yellow lamps and these inverted black lamps, and I sort of set them up like this to have a look at what it would look like. And I think that like that it looks pretty cool, but it's quite overwhelmingly yellow, right? So what I did was I got a few iron covers, which are pretty dark covers. They're a little bit darker than the tin covers, which we use around the maintenance level. But I wanted to get a little bit more like blackness, I guess, into the maintenance level. And as you can see, man, that looks pretty awesome. And I think what I did was, I think I used a copper block for the entry over here. And what I want to do in the maintenance level is make these corridors. It's going to go all the way to the end over there, and then all the way to the end of that side and that side. And then I want to make these sort of entrances into the different parts of the maintenance level. So we know that behind this door is the centrifuge array, right? So if we go through here, here is a centrifuge array that is generating copper for our quad uranium cell factory over there. So I think it's pretty cool that you know, if you can imagine the maintenance level completely completed, it's basically just going to be these corridors, and then there's going to be doors into the different sections of the maintenance level, which I think is pretty cool. And that's pretty much what I want to do today, guys. And that's sort of what I've set my inventory up to do. It's looking a little bit messy around here, I will admit. It's looking a little bit crazy and all over the place. But there is method to the madness today, guys. And I just wanted to show you an example. So for example, what we could do is set up another little wall here of tin blocks, like so. And then this is where that sweet ass text card comes into play, man. Let's just get the copper blocks in place like this. And then what we can do is stick our industrial information panel, which is the thing that shows you what the name of the room is. Let's get that installed above the door. And then this is where the awesomeness of the text card is, right? So before, when we were setting up the entrances into the different parts of the Renstar power module. So for example, the industrial information panel above the doors into the nuclear reactor room says like nuclear reactor room 1. We were using an energy sensor card, and that energy sensor card was like sensing the energy of like a bat box. And then we were using that to actually name the information panel. But what a text card does is it allows you to just name something without having to link the sensory card to anything, right? So it's just a card, which is absolutely awesome. So check it out. Quad uranium cell factory. There we go. And all we got to do now is turn this sucker on. So let's get a lever up onto this information panel. And so before, if you guys remember, what we would have had to do is stick like a bat box over here, like hidden somewhere, and then use a sensory link to link the information panel to the bat box. But now we can just use that sweet ass text card, and that just solves so many freaking problems, man. So to the CyberDog who told me about that, you are a freaking genius. Thank you. And check it out, right? So what we'll do is we'll just finish this off like so. Just get a couple more of these covers in here. All right, there we go, guys. And now to cover the shame of that lever, we need to make sort of another layer of covers around the door itself. And I think it's kind of cool. It kind of like makes the door stick out from the wall a bit, which is pretty sweet. And we need to get a copper cover in there also. There they are. And we need to get a button in here too. So I think let's stick the button over here. Yeah, I've got a button over here. And that's going to open the door into the quad uranium cell factory. So that's looking pretty sweet. Plus, we've got a teleport pad here too, which is very, very awesome. Right now, the dark blue one is taking us down to the flower farm over there. So actually, let's get down to the flower farm and harvest and harvest a bit more dandelion yellow, because now we're going to start working on the corridor itself. So let's just pick up a whole bunch of dandelion yellow. Don't mind if I do. Nice. Man, I love this flower farm. It's so sweet. I don't know why, but it's like the really simple things in Feed the Beast that make me extremely happy. Alright, there we go. So the turtle has done a pretty decent job here. He's made for us a fairly large platform. Looks like we're missing, yeah, we're missing about six layers. Unfortunately, 6 by 18 layers. So hopefully we'll get a bunch more aluminum at the end of this episode and I can finish off this corridor. But let's head up into the Renstar itself, guys, and we can start making some of these inverted lamps so that we can start working on these corridors. So I think I have everything that we need set up around, yeah, over here. This is my temporary captain's quarters, okay? Because we haven't made the freaking captain's quarters yet. So I'm sleeping in the corridor with Bacon the pig over here, man. And damn, he stinks. He hasn't had a shower in like 91 episodes. Anyway, let's have a look at the recipes for our inverted lamps that we want to make. So inverted yellow lamps are very, very easy to make. Let's have a look at the recipe. Yellow lumar, glass panes, and redstone torches. Yellow lumar is just dandelion yellow and glowstone and redstone. And then the inverted black lamps are much the same. Glass panes, redstone, and black lumar. And black lumar is just ink sacs and glowstone and redstone. And ink sacs, of course, comes from the squids that the quarries kill. So we have a good abundance of ink sacs as well as dandelion yellow now that we've got that sweet ass flower farm going. So what I'm going to do, guys, is make as many of these inverted lamps as I can, and I'll bring you back on the other side of this kaplam. I've got to chop a whole bunch of this glass up and get it all done. So I will see you guys in a second. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm just busy making all of the lumar. Don't actually have to chop any of the glass up, just realized. That was just me being a noob. All we need to do is make some lumar like this. Let's make the black inverted lamps first. So let's get some redstone torches up in there, like so, and then we'll get our glass panels, our glass panes, so we can just make glass panes out of normal glass blocks. So that's pretty sweet. And then we'll make sort of, I guess, like almost a stack of black, I guess. We need a whole bunch more redstone torches, though. That's what we do need. Looks like I am going to have to kaplam this bad boy after all, guys. I'll see you on the other side of this kaplam once I've made a few of these yellow lumar lamps. Oh, man. I'm rusty, okay? It's been a while since I played Feed the Beast. See you in a second, guys. Kaplam! All right, my friends. Welcome back. We got there in the end. I've managed to make a stack of inverted yellow lamps and a stack of inverted black lamps. And let's head back down into the maintenance level and get these guys installed, man. Have a look at what they're going to look like. I think it's going to be pretty badass, people. My only concern is that it's just going to be too much freaking yellow. And I don't know. I'm hoping that like the iron covers will help to sort of alleviate the ridiculous amount of yellowness that we could get out of this thing. But I think that one of the reasons like this is a really good idea is because I think these things actually make light, and that means that it's going to minimize mob spawns on the Renstar itself if we have a ton of light everywhere. And if we're making the corridors of everything out of light, I mean the corridors of the first floor of this module are lined with these inverted lamps, then there's going to be no spawning at all. In theory on the Renstar, which is exactly what we want to achieve, man. So let's get these bad boys installed and have a look at what it's going to look like. So let's get these inverted yellow lamps installed on both sides of the black lamp line, and then we can get the iron installed on top of that. You see what, man, it's just too much yellow. Do you know what I mean? It kind of like burns my eyeballs, man. It's just way too much freaking yellow going on over here. So let's drop down these iron covers. What in the jazz? And then I think we're going to want a copper one for this one because it's going to be the entrance into the quad uranium cell factory. So just like so, and then on this side also. And then this will give us a pretty decent idea of like what the maintenance level is going to look like. Well, what the corridor of the maintenance level is going to look like anyway. There we go. So you see, like, the iron covers sort of suppress the yellowiness of the inverted yellow lamps, which I kind of like, but we still get that sort of black and yellow look. I'm kind of feeling, though, that maybe it's not, man, maybe it's too much. I feel like there's not enough yellow. You know what we probably could do, though? We could add, oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this one. What I was thinking was we could probably add like more of this black and yellow, maybe to the roof. So maybe, for example, instead of having this blue and orange over here, if we filled this up with the with black and yellow, and maybe had a maybe we could get it running above us, right? That could work, and have that could be pretty cool. Although, I don't know, I kind of like seeing all the cables and stuff coming out of the different areas of the maintenance level. Because what I'm thinking is we could install another version of this, so like an inverted version of this corridor directly above us. But that would probably start like somewhere over here. So the corridor would be literally extremely low. Like, it would be, you wouldn't be able to jump in it, basically. And then you would lose like all of this really cool effect like this. I don't know, I kind of like the industrial look of the maintenance level right now. Why don't you guys let me know, man? What do you guys think of this sort of yellow and black jazz that we got going on over here? Do you reckon this is going to work? Let me know in the comment section below, man. I'll probably spend the next, I don't know, 40 minutes or so just experimenting with different looks and feels, and hopefully I can come across something nice. But I'd love to get your guys' opinion instead, man. You guys always give me such freaking awesome ideas for this anyway. But guys, I'm going to love and leave you right now. I need to let the Metalworks factory do a little bit of more work so we can get some more aluminum for the turtle to finish off this platform and this platform. I need to do a bit of experimenting with the actual maintenance corridors for the maintenance level of the Renstar, and I need to do a little bit more flower harvesting. So I got a freaking buttload of stuff to do, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode, man. If you enjoyed it, you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, you hit that freaking subscribe button. Because, man, we are feeding the beast, and damn, is it fun. Can't wait to see you guys in the next video, man. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Goodbye.